Hello all, Greg the Grilling Guy here, and today we're going to do a tri-tip. So for those of you on the East Coast, you may not have heard of a tri-tip cut of meat before. The tri-tip, it comes from California originally, and it's a cut in the sirloin subprimal part of the cow, so kind of towards the back end, as you can see in this chart. Now, this is a cut of meat. It's relatively inexpensive, and it really lends itself well to slow indirect heat cooking. We're going to cook this thing for, it'll probably take us about an hour to an hour 20 to finish it off, maybe a little less on a higher heat, but it's a very sensitive piece of meat as well in that if you do overcook it, it will get tough very quickly. Now, the interesting thing about this piece of meat, you can see it's very nicely marbled. You know, it's going to give a lot of flavor, but when you cut it, you want to cut against the grains, and there's actually grains running in a couple different directions on this piece. You know, it's called tri-tip obviously because it has the 3 points, but the way it's cut off the cow or where the muscle is, it has the muscle striations running in different directions. So when we cut it, we'll kind of go through that at the end, but that's something you want to be very aware of. Now, this piece of meat lends itself really well to just a basic rub. I'm going to put some salt brine on it, and then I'll probably do maybe a coffee rub on this one just for flavoring. But it's going to be a fairly straightforward cook, a really easy cook, and it's definitely something that can feed a family, so you'll definitely enjoy this. As I say, for the brine, I'm just going to put some basic salt on here. I did a little bit of trimming on this just before the video because there was a bit of a fat cap on it. That fat cap's not necessarily going to impart a lot of flavor into it, and it'll actually prevent the salt from being absorbed during the brining process. So you can kind of see on this side where I took a bit of the fat off there, and you can actually see that muscle striation where it kind of curls off here and runs differently on the side. So as I say, we'll get into that a little bit more when we cut it. You kind of want to be aware of it at the beginning because if you do sauce it, I'm not going to, but if you do sauce these things, you may not be able to see where the muscle's running. So, like always, in the fridge for 4 to 6 hours, and then we will put some rub on there and get it on the grill. So stay with us. So we're back. It's been about 4 hours since we put the tri-tip in the fridge, and as you can see, most of the salt has been absorbed into the steak itself. So at this point, we're going to put a brine or a rub onto it, and I'm going to use a coffee and garlic rub that we picked up from Trader Joe's. Really good, um, and a little bit of again duck fat as the binder. You can use olive oil. You can use other things. You don't even necessarily need to use a binder. I just like to have it something that's going to hold the rub on there just a little bit more. So, and because the tri-tip is a really flavorful piece of meat, I'm not going to go super heavy on this. I just like to give it a bit of a crust on there. And unlike other meats, I'm not going to be as worried about getting the rub all the way around. That should be about good enough. And as soon as I'm done applying the rub, I'm going to go out and light the barbecue. The barbecue will probably take maybe 20 minutes to heat up. I'm going to be using lump charcoal in there, so it may be a little bit more, maybe 25 minutes. But I want this piece of meat to try to come up to room temperature if I can help it. So usually I say 30 minutes to an hour. I think 35 minutes should be good on this one. So I will light the barbecue and meet you out there. We're out here now at the barbecue pit. I've got it set up for an indirect heat. You can see that I've got the charcoal basket over on this side, and that is very warm. And this is going to be my cooking area, my indirect heat cool area. As I mentioned, I'm using lump charcoal. Lump charcoal burns a lot harder than briquettes, but it also burns faster. So you're not really able to use it well for an extended cook. But in this case, I want to sear the tri-tip when I get it on the grill, and then I'll move it over into the indirect side. But before I do that, because I'm a child, I must play. So we must brand the meat. In order to put the meat on the grill here, I've actually got what we call a pig's tail. And just because it's a larger chunk of meat and it's a little unwielding, I don't want to try to do it with barbecue tongs because if it falls on the ground, it's going to be a very sad day. And I'm not looking for that. So we'll take this piece of meat here. Better make sure we hook it well. and then drop it over top of the charcoal. Now I'm going to let it sit here for probably 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how quickly I see it flaring up. What I'm trying to do is just get a sear on the outside, so it'll give it a nice texture and a nice flavor. But I don't want to burn it. I certainly don't want to cook it like this. These things can be cooked fast. That's not something that I do traditionally, so I couldn't give you a lot of great detail on how to fast cook. But we'll flip that, and you can see that it actually browned up pretty quickly on that side. So we'll give it a couple more flips, and then I will move it over to the indirect heat side and take it from there. All right, that looks to be pretty good. So we moved it over to the indirect side, and we're going to leave it there. I am using a meter thermometer. The meter thermometer is going to give me an estimated cooking time on this, and I'm going to cook this thing to probably about 132 degrees. That's where I want to take it. I'll bring it off a couple degrees before, and I'll wrap it in the barbecue bag that you've seen in other videos and let it sit for probably 10 or 15 minutes. It'll continue to cook. That's the carryover cook. So it will go up to probably 134, 135, which is right where I want this to be. So I'm going to cover up the lid and pick this up in a bit. Now, I know I mentioned with the lump charcoal, you don't necessarily need to add anything for smoke, but I do love Jack Daniel's whiskey. And I've got Jack Daniel's whiskey chips. If you've never seen these are actually made from actual Jack Daniel's whiskey barrels that are chopped up. You can get chunks or you can get just the chips like this. I love this, and I've got a couple stuffed mushroom caps on the grill along with the tri-tip, and I want to give it a bit of flavor. So I just grab just a small handful, and I'm going to dump that down into in over the flames, and then cover up the grill. But when you cover the grill, if you remember from the previous tutorial, you want to make sure that you turn it so that the vents are actually over the meat, because the smoke is going to be coming off from this side of the grill, and it's going to draw across and come out the other side. So this is going to draw that smoky flavor over the meat and help to add it in versus having it twisted away where it's just circling around. So we're going to leave this on here. It's probably about half done. It's probably got about 20 minutes remaining. I'm only going to put that small handful in because that's really all it's going to need for now. And we'll pick this up in about 20 minutes when we're ready to slice. As you can see, it's now time to bring the meat in. So I'm going to remove it from the heat. Ooh, that looks good. I'm going to use a pigtail, again, because it's hot. And I know I said we were going to pick this up inside when it was time to slice, but I'm going to show you what I do with the meat until it's done. So we plated the meat. Now I have butcher's paper that I use to wrap it. And this doesn't provide much insulation per se. However, I'm really using this more so to protect the juices from getting stuck into the barbecue bag. With the meat wrapped, I will now put it into the barbecue bag, and I'm going to let it rest in there for probably about 10 minutes. And that, during that time, I'm going to bring in all the side dishes and get them ready. And by the time I have everything inside and ready to go, the meat's going to be ready to cut, because during the rest period, the juices are redistributing through the meat and it's kind of finishing up the cook. So the muscle right now is really tight. It's pulled everything into the center. You want it to relax. You want everything to kind of redistribute, and then it'll be good to go. So now we're going in for the cut. So our tri-tip is in. It's ready to be cut. We talked about the muscles and the striations. So that's going to come in right about here on the slice. So we're going to cut right in here. This thing is rested for about 10 minutes, so it should be good to go. And you can see the thickness all the way through. That is exactly what we're looking for. Then we're going to cut a few slices. And you can see as you lay that out, that is going to be perfect. That is going to be tender. That is going to be tasty. That is exactly what we're looking for. So hopefully you learned something about how to cook a tri-tip today. Please try it yourself. If you have any questions, add it in the comments. If there's anything I can help you with, ask. I will gladly help. Until next time, this is Greg the Grilling Guy saying, grill it real good.